Hello everyone, welcome to Flying G Ranch. I'm Reuben and today I want to give a brief overview on lowline cattle and why we use them in our grass finishing and seed stock operation. First, a little background on the breed. Lowlines have a significant presence worldwide with several registries in various countries including Canada, Australia, Britain, and the United States. Lowlines were developed in Australia through a lengthy research project utilizing a proven herd of purebred Aberdeen Angus. These Aberdeen Angus Foundation cattle came to Australia in the 1920s from a purebred herd here in Canada. Additional Aberdeen Angus cattle were added later in the 30s and 40s from purebred herds in Scotland, the United States, and England. Now, out of the 20-year-long research project that started in the 70s and was focused on efficient meat production, emerged the lowline breed with some noteworthy benefits, not the least of which was a 30% reduction in frame size. The one word that comes to mind when I think about lowlines is efficiency. That's a trait that's getting harder and harder to find in cattle breeds today, and never before has it been so important. So what makes them so efficient? Well, let's start by saying this. When we look holistically at the concept of efficiency, we should have the understanding that it doesn't just include the animal and its physiological function. True efficiency should also include the behavioral traits of the animal, its disposition, and its ease of handling. When we allow God-ordained nature to do its thing, there's a much bigger picture in play than just the internal functions of the cow itself. Nature says, I'm going to create an animal that is not only self-sufficient, but is also highly productive and functional in terms of its impact on and interaction with the world around it. So let's touch on all those things as they relate to the lowline. With a 30% reduction in frame size, you can fit 30% more lowline cattle on an acre of land. This results in more pounds of beef per acre. Lowlines have a high yield percentage of usable cuts related to their carcass weight, achieving yields as high as 76%. In comparison, the industry average is between 60 and 65%. The average pounds of retail product per acre for lowlines is 154.3 pounds, which is well above the next closest at 110 pounds per acre. We know that smaller cows wean a calf at a higher percentage of their own body weight. Weaning weight percentage, as it's measured against the cow's weight, is the important factor as opposed to individual calf size. A bigger calf requires a bigger cow, which means fewer animals per acre and higher input costs. Lowline cows wean calves at average 50 to 55% of their own body weight. That's well above industry average, which is right around 46%. Lowlines require little to no support from external inputs like grain and high energy, high protein hay. They flesh out very well on a low quality forage only diet. If you're a grass-fed or grass-finishing operation, lowlines are your go-to. They're literally built to turn even poor quality forage into really delicious beef, and that's exactly what they'll do. Lowlines are extremely easy calvers. On average, lowline calves weigh between 45 and 55 pounds. They require little to no monitoring during calving. Our cows calve out unassisted in the field, and most of the time we don't see them until the calf is up and nursing. Lowline cows are renowned for their maternal traits and are great mothers with high fertility rates. Lowlines cross well with many other breeds. If you're looking to downsize your cow herd's overall frame score in a short period of time, breed them to a lowline bull, and you'll achieve that in one breeding season. If you're looking to increase efficiency in pounds of beef per acre, look at adding some lowline genetics to your herd. Using a lowline bull on your heifers is a great way to get them started with some smaller calves. Lowlines are very docile and easy to handle. Because of their moderate frame size, they're easy on infrastructure and in fact require very little of it. Ours are contained and moved around all summer and fall with a single strand of polywire that, for the majority of the time, is not even powered. Now, this next point is probably the most important one. Lowlines are beneficial for families. Research shows that when working with lowlines, there is an 80% reduction in yelling and swearing, and 70% of married couples report still liking their spouse after a day of tagging, branding, weighing, or doing whatever it is you're needing to get done with them. True story. When it comes to the kids, the lowline steers and heifers make phenomenal 4-H projects. Many people, when they think of lowlines, get caught up with their moderate frame size, either positively or negatively. But an important point to remember is this. Lowlines are the size they are as a result of many years of selecting for efficiency. The point of the whole research project out of which the lowline breed was born was to see if they could develop a cattle type, not a breed, but a type that checked all the boxes when we think of an efficient cow. Highly fertile, feed efficient, quality milk, superior carcass traits, structural soundness, and ease of handling. As a byproduct of selecting for those traits, frame size went down. A decrease in frame size was a natural result of increased efficiency. Size was never the point, but we should understand that as frame size increases, efficiency goes down. And as efficiency increases, frame size goes down. And as frame size goes down, pounds of beef per acre go up. And pounds of beef per acre, in my opinion, is an excellent measure of efficient land use. As producers, if we continue to diligently select for efficiency traits, the lowline will stay true to the standard that it has set for itself. Efficiency comes first and size follows. Lowlines have largely remained unchanged since the 70s and 80s. They've maintained their size and functionality, and as a result, remain one of the most efficient cattle breeds in the world. There's lots of lowline breeders in Canada, and you can find them and us listed on the Canadian Lowline Association website at www.canadianlowline.com, and also on the Canadian Livestock Records Corporation website, www.clrc.ca. Our website address is www.flyinggranch.ca. Hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you next time.